Greetings, I'm Margaret Kimberley, and today I join you as a coordinating committee member of the Black Alliance for Peace. As many of you know, Black Alliance for Peace was founded on April 4th, 2017. April 4th is a significant date. On that day in 1967, Dr. Martin Luther King gave his famous speech, Beyond Vietnam, A Time to Break the Silence. In those remarks, he publicly declared his opposition to the war in Vietnam and to all U.S. militarism. He was assassinated 1 year to the day later, in part because he spoke out against U.S. imperialism. The mission of Black Alliance for Peace is as follows. The Black Alliance for Peace seeks to recapture and redevelop the historic anti-war, anti-imperialist, and pro-peace positions of the radical Black movement. Through educational activities, organizing, and movement support, organizations and individuals in the Alliance will work to oppose both militarized domestic state repression and the policies of destabilization, subversion, and the permanent war agenda of the U.S. state globally. When the Organization of African Unity was founded on May 25, 1963, those leaders had a goal of freeing themselves from colonization and exploitation. That is our responsibility now, and we commemorate this day by committing ourselves to freeing our people wherever they may be. We are living through a pivotal moment. The COVID-19 pandemic has exposed the crises of late-stage capitalism here in the U.S. The lack of a publicly funded and controlled healthcare system puts Black people at the epicenter of this medical crisis. Only 20% of us are able to work from home, that is to say, are in the managerial class and able to protect themselves from a communicable disease. It is easy to blame the racist and incompetent Donald Trump for this situation, but austerity and insecurity for workers existed before he was inaugurated. The destruction of any and all public benefits was already underway. This system does and will fail us, as it is constructed with the goal of exploiting our labor and keeping us under physical control. COVID-19 has been used as a pretext for policing us even more. It was recently reported that in Brooklyn, 35 of 40 people arrested for violating social distancing rules were Black. We must both demand health care as a human right while also being wary of any governmental efforts which may lead to further subjugation. But the people are showing the way. Retail workers, public transit workers, and others have carried out work stoppages around the country. The call to end the quarantine is not necessarily made for our benefit. Capital is suffering and needs its workers. The political duopoly here give the people a maximum of $1,200, while even other capitalist nations are more generous. We see Cuba, a country with a large African population, sending medical teams all over the world and devising treatments for the coronavirus. Cuba has been under 60 years of attack because it is a socialist revolutionary government and is hated by Uncle Sam because it survives. Every effort to bring socialism to this hemisphere is attacked, whether in Grenada in the 1980s or in Venezuela today. On May 4th, 2020, the Trump administration sent mercenaries into Venezuela to instigate another attempt at regime change. Not only were they quickly discovered and dispatched by the Venezuelan military, but also by a community of Afro-Venezuelan fisher people who assisted in the mercenaries' capture. While Africans fight worldwide for their freedom, every 4 years, Black people in the U.S. are told that a party or candidate will save us from the worst of racist oppression, and every 4 years, our condition remains the same or even worsens. When politicians come before us asking for our votes, we must present them with the Black Alliance for Peace candidate pledge to get the U.S. out of Africa, close all foreign military bases, cut the defense budget by 50%, and investigate all fatal police encounters that occur among our people. We must be like those who met on May 25, 1963. That means we must struggle. As we say at Black Alliance for Peace, no compromise, no retreat. defeat the war against African Black people in the U.S. and abroad.